Hi, welcome to Peace Donkeys. Today I'm going to show you how to make this dog collar. This is a semi-adjustable dog collar. So I've used sanctified with centre chains in the middle for the adjustable part, and this is called the Vortex bar for the rest of it. So I've used almost what looks like watermelon colours. So I've got pink and black, and then neon green and neon green diamonds for the sanctified part. This collar is a little bit more complicated than some of the others, so it'll just take a bit more time to learn. Anyway, I'll go ahead and show you how to make that dog collar. So first off, you're going to attach your main colour onto your buckle. So just put that, excuse me, with the cow's hitch over the buckle. And then you'll take the right strand and you'll just make an extra hitch there beside the one that you've already got. So just poke that down beside that cord that's already there, along that centre bar. Bring it through the loop and pull that cord through all of that cord. Then you'll take the other side, the other cord, and you'll just do the same on the other side. Just bring that up through the centre bar, bring it back through the loop that you've got there, and just pull all of that cord through. I'm just using a bar clamp here as a jig, and we've got a couple of nails drilled in to either end. So you can go ahead and attach your buckle onto one end. Make sure you put it the right way around so that when you finish your collar, it goes through the roller part. And then you'll just measure along to how long you want your dog collar to be. And once you've figured out what measurement you want to start at, you'll put your right cord across your centre strands, across the middle two strands, and then the left cord goes over the top of that strand and then around the back and up through the loop on the right hand side. Pull all that cord through. And then you'll take the left strand and that'll go across the centre. And then your right strand goes over the top of that strand, around the back of all your work, and then up through the loop on the left hand side. So then you'll open up those two loops on the end, and you'll find your contrast colour that you're going to use. In my case it's green. So you put that up through one loop, down through the other side, and then you pull all of that cord through until you get to the halfway point, so you've got an even amount of cord on each side of your work. And then you can tighten up those loops, tighten up your strands, and then you can just get a piece of cord and attach that to a nail or whatever you happen to have. You can tie that tight so that it puts a bit of tension on your work. It just makes it easier to work with. With the bar clamp, you can just tighten up the tension whenever you need to. So you'll start your sanctified, which is the main colour. On the right side will come up through the centre and out to the left side. And then the left strand will come up through the centre, up through the middle, out to the right side. And then you get your green strand, bring it up through the middle, take it over to the same side that it came from and out through that loop on your main colour. Pull all of your cord through, and then you'll do the same on the opposite side. Bring up your contrast colour through the middle, and then it'll go out to the same side that it came from through that main colour loop. And just tighten that up. So that's your sanctified pattern. So again, the right strand comes up through the middle and out to the left. The left strand comes up through the middle and out to the right. Bring your contrast colour up through the centre, out the same side through the main colour loop. Pull all that cord through. Same with the right hand side. Bring that green up through the centre, out through the loop on the same side. So I'm just attaching the black cord here now, just with the cow's hitch over that centre strand. Go back to your sanctified pattern. So your main colours come up through the centre, out to the opposite side. Then your contrast comes up through the middle, out through the loop on the same side. Same with the right side, contrast colour comes up through the middle, goes out through the main colour on the right side. And now you'll bring your black down over the centre strands. You bring it under the centre strands. Separate those two black strands and bring the rest of it up through the middle. Then you'll tighten up the rest of your work. Just zoom in so you can see. Tighten up your main strands, your contrast, and then your black centre strands. Do that as many times as you need to. Put the black out of the way. Then just go back to your main pattern with your right strand up through the middle and out, left strand up through the middle and out, colours up through the middle, out through the loop on the same side. Same with the right side. Bring your black down again, over the centre strands, under the centre strands. Separate those two strands so that you can bring that up through the middle and just pull all of that cord through. Tighten up your work, main, contrast and centre as many times as you need to, just so you get a good firm tension on that work. And then you'll just keep going along with that pattern until you've done as much as you want of the adjustable part of your collar. And then we'll come along and we'll start the pattern. for the Vortex bar. I usually just do a few inches, just enough so that you've got a little bit of adjustment. It's not fully adjustable, just semi-adjustable for that end part, just because the rest of this collar is just a little bit too wide to make it adjustable. Okay, so here I've got as far as I want to go with the adjustable part, and I'm attaching my next colour. So this is the fourth colour, I'm using pink here, fuchsia. Okay, so once you've got your pink cord attached, then you're going to take your black cord and you're actually going to just separate those pink cords first, and you're just going to go around and do another chain link back up through the middle over the top of your pink cords. Okay, so that your black is in the centre of those two. Then you can go ahead and tighten up the rest of your work. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to start the Vortex bar. And your black is going to go underneath your pink. Then it's going to come back over the pink. And down through the centre. So just pull all that cord out and then you'll be able to see. Okay, so it's gone under, over, and back into the middle. Okay, so now you do the same with the other black cord on the other side. You're going to go under the pink cord, over the pink cord, and back down into the centre. Okay, so these black strands are always going to stay in the centre. So now we go back to the main sanctified pattern, which is your main colours coming up through the centre and out the opposite sides. The contrast colour up through the centre and out through that main colour loop. And then the same on the opposite side. The contrast colour comes up through the middle and it goes out that contrast loop. So now what's going to happen with your Vortex bar, your black is always going to come down over those centre strands. It's going to go under them and back up through the centre, like so. And then your pink is going to come down the side, okay, and it's going to go under the centre strands and it's going to come out to the outside of itself. Oops. Okay, and the same on the other side. Okay, it's going to come down over the centre strands. Then it's going to go under the centre strands and back out to the outside of itself. I'll just move those so you can see. Okay, so you'll tighten up your sanctified. You'll tighten up your outsides and you'll tighten up your centres. So tighten everything up. And this time, what you're going to do is your pink is going to come under your black. I'll just move that so you can see a bit better.
and then it's going to go over the black and out to the outside. Okay, and you'll tighten that up. And then your other pink is going to do the same on the opposite side. It's going to come under the black strand, then it's going to go back over the black strand and to the outside. Okay, and you'll just tighten up those two pink loops. Okay, then you'll come back to your main sanctified pattern, which is, and I'll put the black out of the way for a second. Okay, so your main colours come up through the centre and out to the opposite sides. The contrast comes up through the middle, out the same side. Same with your other contrast, up through the middle, out through your loop. Your black is going to come down over the centre strands, under the centre strands and up through the middle. Pull those through. Okay. And then your pink strand's going to come down towards the outside, over the centre strands, then under the centre strands and out on the outside of itself. Okay, same with your other pink on the opposite side. It'll come down over the centre strands, under the centre strands, and then back up to the outside of itself. And you'll tighten up your sanctified, your middle strands and your pink strands. And this time what's going to happen is your black strands are going to go underneath the pink, then it'll go over the pink and down towards the centre. Okay, just tighten that up a bit, and then you'll do the same with the left hand strands. The pink's going, the black is going to go underneath the pink, then it will go over the pink and back into the centre. Okay, so your blacks are going to end up in the centre every time. Okay, so we'll just take those out of the way for a second while we do our sanctified. Okay, main colours come up through the centre and out the opposite sides. Contrast up through the middle, through the same side. Other colour comes up through the middle, out the same side. Okay, we'll bring our other colours back. Okay, so if you can remember where black's going to go, it's going to go into the centre every time, under the centre strands and back up through the middle. I'll just tighten those up a little bit so you can see. And then your pink is going to go over the centre strands, then under the centre strands and back up to the outside of itself. Slide them across so you can do the same with the other pink. It's going to go over the centre strands, under the centre strands and back up to the outside of itself. And tighten up all the strands as much as we can. Okay, this time your pink strand is going to come underneath your black strand, and it's going to go over the black strand and out to the same side that it came from. Okay, and tighten that up. The other pink strand is going to come under the black strand, over the black strand, and out the same side that it came from. And tighten that up. Tighten up your centre strands as much as you can. Okay, and we go back to the sanctified pattern. Okay, so your black strands are going to come down over the top of your centre strands, under your centre strands, separate them, bring them back through the middle. And just tighten up these green strands a little bit, just so they're not too loose everywhere. Okay, so your pink is going to come down to the outside under your centre strands, back out to the outside of itself. Same on the opposite side, down over the centre strands, under the centre strands, and out the same side of itself. Okay, I'm just going to tighten these up as much as we can. Okay, now this time the black strand is going to go under the pink, over the pink, and down into the middle. Just zoom that in a bit so you can see. Okay, that was the right strand. Now the left strand is going to go under the pink, over the pink, and down into the middle. And just tighten that up. Just make sure all your strands are nice and firm. Okay, and we go back to the main pattern again. I'm just getting a bit tangled up here. Okay, so we bring our black, just make sure that's tight when we go. Black goes over the centre strands, under the centre strands, and back up through the middle. Just get rid of some of the slack. Okay, the right strand is going to go over the centres, under the centres, and back up to the outside. Slide them across. Pink's going to go over the centres, under the centres, and back up. Oops, back up the left side of itself. Tighten up all your strands. Okay, so now the left pink strand is going to come over the left, under the left black strand, then over the black strand and out the same side that it came from. The right pink is going to go under the right black, then it's going to go over the black and out the same side that it came from. Tighten those up. Just make sure all the rest of the work's tight. Okay, and then back to the main pattern again. Okay, your blacks always come down over your centre strands, under, separate them and bring them back through the middle. Just tighten those up a little bit, the slack out, so you can see what you're doing. Pink comes down the outside, goes underneath the centre strands, and then back out. Same side. Opposite pink comes down underneath, out to the outside. Okay, tighten up all the strands. Okay, so this time the black strand is going to come under the pink, back over the pink and down into the centre. Okay, the other black strand is going to go under the pink, over the pink and back down into the middle. Okay, and just tighten up those strands as much as you can. Okay, you can see that pattern starting to come through now. Okay, so I've got to the part where I'm going to put my D-ring in. So I'll show you how to do that. So for this one, I'm just going to put the D-ring on the top. I think this is probably just a little bit wide for my D-ring to have put it over the cords. So I'll just do it here as we go. So you go back to your sanctified, bring up your main colour up through the centre, through your D-ring and out. Same with your other strand, up through the centre, through the D-ring and out, the opposite side. Then you'll get your contrast colour. Oops. Put that through the middle of the D-ring and then out that loop as you normally would. And then the same on the opposite side. Get your contrast colour up through the centre. Bring it through the D-ring and out through your loop as you normally would. Okay, so now your black strands are going to come through the centre. And they'll go over that centre of your D-ring. Back through the middle as usual. And then your pink strands, just bring your pink strands through. And you'll just do the same as you would as if the D-ring wasn't there, over the centre strands, under the centre strands, and back up to the outside. And then we'll do the same over here. Bring that pink strand through the middle of your D-ring. It's going to go over the centre strands and over the centre bar of the D-ring, under everything and back out to the outside. So you'll tighten up all of your strands so that you make sure that your D-ring's nice and secure there. Just pull each string, make sure it's got the right tension. Okay, and then you just go on with the rest of your pattern. Okay, so I'm almost at the end of my dog collar, and I've just started to taper off towards the end here, just using the black now in the centre, just like I kind of did at the start. So I'll just continue on until I get right to the end, and then we'll just cut these strands and melt them. This might be about as far as I can go with my black. See how I go. Well, I might be able to get another row in. So I'll just get in as much as I can. Okay, so we'll see if we can just get one more of the blacks in. Might just let off a bit of tension off that. See if we can get those blacks down. Okay. Right, I just might finish off with one last round of the sanctified. Okay, that looks nice and tight. So all you're going to do now at the end is you're just going to snip off those. You might want to actually put them through to the opposite side, just so it looks a little bit better. The last dog collar I did, I wasn't very happy because I snipped off on the outside and it just looked a bit messy. So I think this time we'll get a fid, poke these strands down into there and melt, and then maybe just run these strands with a fid also along there and melt those as well. So once you've got them all chopped off, you can so then you just get a lighter, just melt that enough so you can put your fid on the end. If you're not sure what a fid is, it's just this, it's like a needle with a thread in the end, and you can thread that cord into it and it kind of screws in firm there, and then you can just poke that down through the middle, or wherever you want to poke it through to the other side. And if you want, you can bring it back up again, feed it down wherever you want to feed it through to. And then you can just cut that off and you can melt that onto there. So just get a knife and chop off all your ends. Oops, got a bit crooked. So I've brought both of those black strands through to here, and we'll just give those a melt. And then just get your knife and push those down onto there. And the same with the others, just pull those through the other side with your feed, and then you can cut and melt. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.